All right, good morning. Hello. It's been a while. How's everyone doing? How you doing? Hey. Oh, Toby, how you doing? It's been a while. Oh my gosh, a lot of haze, a lot of yo-yos. Hey, greetings all the way from Greece. Ooh, beautiful there. I had a groom. Him and his wife went and had their honeymoon in Greece. Yo, tuned in on my way to work. Happy hump day. I hope you're enjoying Gus and the gang and LD. Yes. Man, wow. A lot of folks here. Holy cow. I haven't done one of these in a while. I don't know what to say. Rocky Mountain Country. Hey, Seth. Hey, good morning, all. Morning. From India, mate. Hey. Oh, Elliot, how you doing? We were playing Battlefield when it first came out. It's a fun game. It's probably why I haven't been posting as much. Had my honeymoon last year in Greece, 10 out of 10. Nice. Tuning in while in between classes. Well, glad you can make it. How have I been doing? I've been doing great. Just been busy. Life has been going by really fast. And I haven't even put in time to read. I think I read The Road last month. And then I was really excited to read Something Wicked This Way Comes and wasn't feeling it. I don't know. I got 30 pages in and I was just like, it's fall time. It's October 1st. I should be into this. I should be excited. Wasn't feeling it. It was beautifully written. I just didn't care to read it. So I decided to put it to the side. And I think that's because this book, Lonesome Dove, was the one calling my name. And I'm only, 44 pages in, 4 chapters in, and I can tell this is something truly special. So this is what I'm currently reading. And I know it's spooky season. We're halfway through October, but I've been craving Lonesome Dove. I've been craving that slow type of story. And yeah, I've just been traveling, busy with work. I've got my last wedding this weekend, so got a road trip ahead of me and a lot of editing. So right now my video output is not as, not to where I want it to be. I think I'm at 1 video a week, which I think is totally fine. I do like to do a Wednesday and a Friday. If I was doing this full time, probably Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that'd be fun. But when an idea pops in my head, that's when I like to film it. And I like to get it out as soon as possible because it feels like that was like an honest conversation that was had live. And that's why I just don't put out a lot of videos, because I'm not constantly thinking of ideas. But when I do, I want to get them out. Okay, let me catch up here. I'm behind here. Starting the day off with a live stream and Battlefield. Oh my gosh, am I in the background? I love it. I'll hop on right now. Go M's, Royals fan here, but rooting for you guys. Oh yeah, you guys are talking about baseball. I haven't followed baseball in a while. Feels like it's forever since our last. I know, Toby. I've missed you. Did any reading lately? Well, yes. I'm 44 pages in to Lonesome Dove, and my goodness, I know it's going to be special. And I was on a coffee date with my wife yesterday, and I was telling her, "Hey, hon, I'm only 30 pages in, and I love this book." And she says, "You say that about every book. You say that every time." I'm like, "Yeah, but this really feels something special. Like, it feels Lonesome Dove feels like a once in a lifetime read. I can't say that about many books." So good. Yo, my favorite actual booktuber. Cheers from Brazil. Wow. Cheers, but I am, what an honor. Photography is always so busy. Yes, it is. We are busy, busy, busy. Okay, you answered my question. Yes, I know, I'm behind. I haven't read almost nothing in a month, but last thing I read was Eye of the World, and you were right, it's so good. Love it. Such a perfect start to a wonderful, wonderful long series. Something Wicked was my least favorite read last spooky season. Wow, okay. Without any spoilers, Jedi, do you think you could share why? Have you read Anxious People yet? No. I did want to make an update about that. My book club, our book club. And I wanted to make a video on it, but I'll probably just make a post on the YouTube thing soon. But I'm going to have to put a pause on the book club because with life being so busy and time just flowing by, and I barely have enough time to put out a video as is or read the current book that I'm reading. I'm not going to have enough time or energy to give to the book club. And I do think there is an issue with communication, definitely on my end, with how the information is being presented. Like, hey, what's the book of the month? What are we reading? When do we have to finish it by? When's the live stream? And it's been very inconsistent. Some of you will hear about it through a post, through a YouTube video, through a live stream, and then some of you will miss it. And I feel bad. So last time we did all the pretty horses. Toby was there, and there were only just a few people tuned in, which I love. It's intimate. But it made me sad thinking, darn, what did I do wrong with presenting the book? And how many people missed out on it because of me? So with the book club, I want to put a pause on it for now. And we'll return to it when I have time. And hope everyone's okay with that. And thankfully, it's a free book club. We're not paying for it. So no one's missing out on that, because I would hate to have you pay for a book club. I can't stand Rand a little bit, but it was way better than my first time. Oh my gosh, I really need to catch up. Holy moly. Hello from Wales, UK. Hello, Roland. I love that name, by the way. Have you considered also dipping your toes in poetry? I have. but I think I love poetry with a story, and not to say poetry doesn't have a story, but I like poetic prose, poetic writing styles, uh, like The Last Unicorn or Name of the Wind, books like that, where I'm just like, wow, how can this be written so beautifully and also have an engaging story? So that's kind of my dip into poetry. Yo, bro, about to start Wheel of Time book 4 soon. Love it. How you liking it so far? Got to catch the miniseries with Tommy Lee Jones, Robert Duvall. Yeah, I hear good stuff about it. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Holy cow. How do I go to your, oh my gosh. Love the vibe of your channel. I love to know if you have ever read Neuromancer. Hey, thank you, Lo-Fi. That's really appreciate that. Neuromancer. I don't even think I've heard of that. Lo-Fi, do you think you can give me a little elevator pitch on that? All the pre-horses live stream with only a few of us literally felt like a campfire conversation from the book. Yes, I love that, and I think that it just felt like we were all meeting at a coffee shop, hanging out and talking about the book. I grew up on the Lonesome Dove miniseries. Still need to read the book. Well, join me. You'll have probably half a year to read alongside me because I am a slow reader. I'm picking this book up maybe every other day, if that. So, Neuromancer is the foundational cyberpunk novel. Whoa. Okay. Let me do a quick little Google here. Just a Neuromancer. Oh, they have a TV series? 1984? Whoa. Okay, we'll have to take a look at that. I really appreciate that recommendation. Writing it down right now. I haven't gotten fully lost into sci-fi yet. So, maybe eventually. I saw your initial video announcing book club and was super interested in participating. I'd give yourself some grace as the organizer. It's just tough with life being busy, plus schedules not aligning. Yeah, Dad, I agree. I appreciate that. Neuromancer is for cyberpunk what Lord of the Rings is for epic fantasy. Oh my goodness. Dad likes the book. Hey, is Lonesome Dove that good? Will you make a review about it? Thank you. Yes, I will make a review about it. I do want to make a review on The Road as well, because I finished that last month. Let me try to catch up here. Sorry if I've missed some of your comments. I didn't expect this many people to tune in. I really appreciate it. So if I missed your comment, just throw it back in and I'll catch up with it. I just learned a valuable lesson in gaming. Pushing the joystick harder won't make the character move faster. Yes, that is very true. My brother-in-law, growing up, he would squeeze his controller out of frustration rather than throwing it. A lot of us kids would throw the controller, but and then my brother would throw his on the bed so it wouldn't break. I wasn't that big of a controller throwing. And if I did, my mom would take it away from me and I wouldn't get to play. Because, you shouldn't be mad at a video game like that. Okay, my spooky season has been significantly less spooky this year. Yeah, I think we're finally getting into the fall weather. It's gloomy. It rained a couple days ago. And now is the time. But for me, I'm just not into spooky reads. Hey, True Shelf, how you doing? If one misses the sunrise in Lonesome Dove, one would have to wait almost an entire day to see anything near as beautiful. Is that a quote from the book? Because I'm excited to read that. What are the best collection covers for the Wheel of Time book series? That's a good question. They haven't really put out a lot of good looking covers for Wheel of Time. I think I have the Barnes & Noble versions. Bear with me. Let me grab it real quick. See, this is what I have. It's floppy. You can spill coffee on it. It's pretty big. It's got good print. I also just like the cover. I don't like this, but there's not much you can do about that. I'm reading Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones, and it's perfect. Slow burn that takes its time, building the world and characters. Totally recommend it. Elliot, what is Buffalo Hunter about? I think you were telling me about that. That's how I run RPGs with my gaming group. We're online rather than scheduling each week. Excuse me. We just ask when we're feeling a session to slip in. Yeah, same. And it's hard to do that with books because you have to put in the effort to read a book. So scheduling a live stream with everyone who may or may not have read the book is a little difficult. The new Battlefield looks good. Haven't played a video game since May. What was the last video game you played, Sean Spencer? I've been doing the same with my Substack newsletter. Decided on monthly thing recently so I would have more time for research and not make it too forced, Yeah. Yep. I never want to force the book club or force a read. Like in my last video, which is linked in the description, I just didn't want to force a spooky read if I wasn't feeling a spooky read. And I feel like this year I've finally decided or just given myself permission, be like, hey, I don't need to read a book that matches the weather. I don't know why I've been so fixated on that because I'm a mood reader. I like to immerse myself. But this time around, I don't care. I'm going to read what I want, regardless of the weather, the season. There's a lot of popular books coming out, or a lot of books that are getting hyped right now. Tom's Crossing, the final book of the Sun Eater. I think there's a second Will of the Many book. There's the third Empire of the Vampire, Vampire of the Empire, whatever, by Christoph. That one's coming out. I'm just so out of it. I'm reading books that are 40 years old, and I just can't keep up with the new book releases, especially if I've had to read a series to catch up on it. Bought Lonesome Dove a few months ago. Really looking forward to reading it. True Shelf, you're in for a treat. 40 pages in, and I'm loving it. So feel free to join me on that. An online session you guys do for RPGs? Maybe because most of them are ? Got to catch the mini series. Okay, let me. Oh my gosh, let me catch up here. Did you see the tornado warning today? Yes, I did. That was crazy because it was at like 1 a.m. Horrible sound to wake up to. We all need to give ourselves grace. That's a great point. One of the things I love is being real and saying life is busy. I couldn't take that on right now. Stress reading is never fun. Yeah, never want to stress myself out reading. My wife has been reading book 6 of Dungeon Crawler Carl. Taking her sweet time with it. How many chapters are you in, hon?
8.
8. 8 chapters, and it's been almost a month. Will you read Pet Sematary by Stephen King? It's my fave book. I have read it, and I loved it. And I think the more I think about it, the more I do love it and appreciate it. Reading Mr. Mercedes after Gunslinger. Really loving your show. Keep it up. Warmest greetings from northern Sweden. Oh my goodness. Rocky the Rock. I appreciate that. I've got a funny feeling Lonesome Dove will consume the rest of your year and leave you feeling blue when it's over. He's going to be bluer than Gus's pigs. Yeah, I'm scared. I'm really scared. Like, it feels like, I know I've mentioned in a few of my videos about maturity, and there's a lot of books out there that tonally aren't consistent, and you can't really take it seriously. But this book right here, Lonesome Dove, I don't feel like I'm reading an author's book. I feel like I'm reading a piece of history or a piece of a story that actually happened. I know that sounds crazy, but that's just how it's written. And I know it's going to be something special. As for the book club thing, it works out perfectly for me as I want to get into spooky stuff for Halloween as well. Sub Thomas, same with the controller thing. Laugh out loud. Playing Dragon Age Inquisition right now. My character moves so slow. I want to throw my Xbox controller. Wait till you play Red Dead Redemption 2. That's slow. It's like you're walking through mud everywhere you go. Finishing Salem's Lot today, the Frankenstein. Oh, then Frankenstein before the new movie, and then Lonesome Dove to get me to Sun Eater 7. Wow. Love that. For me, the best Wheel of Time covers the original ones from the 80s or something. Yeah, those mass market paperbacks, beautiful. Oh, it's historical fiction. Okay. Many people nowadays don't give poetry a fair chance. It's just an art form that combines music and meaning, same as song on that radio. Just want to say hi and send good vibes and love the videos. Appreciate that. I love that you love the videos. Still blows my mind that when I make a video that people love it and that people want to hang out with me and listen to me talk about books. I've been getting into some poetry myself. It's quite interesting. I have the exact same Wheel of Time edition. I love the spine and size of those books. Hate the permanent Prime sticker. Yes. Yes, especially now that it's a canceled show. Have I read, I don't know how to pronounce that. Brilliant author. Okay. I'm reading Remains of the Day at the moment. Wait a minute. Remains of the Day, isn't that about the butler? Because that, I was actually thinking of getting my wife that. I Googled books like Downton Abbey. And that was, yeah, that was one of the books. So maybe. Because she wanted to read, honey, didn't you want to try, what is that? Jane Austen? Pride and Prejudice. Who knows? Skyrim was the game I was playing. If I jump back into those games, my priority will be finishing the first Spider-Man. Oh, Ignore the Last Message is historical fiction horror book about Native Americans live alongside a creature. Great American, Native American revenge story. So far, it's my favorite novel. Wow. Okay. Did you just donate again? Lo-fi, thank you. What? Stop it. Thank you. I have to go back to work. Hope you have a good day. Also, read Under the Dome by Stephen King. It deserves more praise than it gets. Wow. Yeah, I think I've heard about that book. I love the concept of it. Thank you, Lo-Fi. Under the Dome. Cool. Thing with poetry is that it must be consumed actively as opposed to a song that can be listened to passively. Modern drive to do as many. I think personally, in my opinion, I think reading in general should be consumed actively as well. Um, I know audiobooks are very common and comforting and accessible. Um, but eventually there comes a point where you will be consuming the book passively and miss out on details and emotional beats. And that's why I just read physically, because I want to read at a methodical pace, and just take my time, pause a little bit. Uh, if something emotional hits me, if a crazy moment happens in the book, I want to be able to just sit there. Because if something crazy happens in an audiobook and the narrator just continues on, and I'm just like, well, hold up, let me pause here. And Joanna from Joanna Reads, she and I had a live stream a couple months ago talking about slow and intentional reading. And she asked the question, how do people who listen to audiobooks on like 2x speed, um, absorb and metabolize those heavy hitting emotional moments? It's a good question. I'm between books at the moment, won't start another until I can commit to it. But all I can think about, oh, yeah, starting The Terror and rereading The Last Unicorn has been on my mind since spring. Yeah, I think The Terror would be a good thing to do during winter. And then The Last Unicorn, because it's kind of a nice little break after a horror book. My average is probably about 3 months to finish a book. That's still 4 books a year. In theory, that's 20 books every 5 years. Perfectly fine with that. Yeah, Ribbit. Yep. You read how you want to read. Do I have any experience with mangas? No. And even just graphic novels. And not to say mangas are graphic novels, but I just haven't been reading graphic novels or really experienced mangas. There's so much. Go to Barnes and Noble and the entire wall is manga, and I wouldn't know where to begin. I do like every live stream in this channel. I get excellent book recommendations from the chat and the vibes, feeling like hanging out in a coffee shop. Greetings from Philippines. Ron, appreciate you. I would hope my channel can be a very chill coffee shop. And if I owned a coffee shop, I would hope it's really chill. I've been bouncing between Ghost of Yote and Digimon Storytime Stranger for Games. For video games, I have been playing Stardew Valley, and I am very happy. I got my wife hooked on it. There were 2 nights in a row I attempted to get her to play with me. She tried it. She's like, it's just like doing chores. What the heck? And then tried it again and still not feeling it. And then eventually she's the one that's pulling me back into the game. She's like, okay, we're going to play Stardew Valley right now. Can we play? We got to go to the mines. We got to, milk the cows. So it's been a lot of fun and chill. Have I read Count of Monte Cristo? No, not yet. Funny you mentioned that. I had a video meeting with my heart doctor, and I go into the little waiting room on the video, and I'm reading The Road. as if I'm waiting in a waiting room at the doctor's office. And he pops in while I'm reading, and we start off the appointment with talking about books because he asked, "Hey, what were you reading?" And then I asked him what's his favorite book, and he said Count of Monte Cristo, and we just recommended each other some books. It was a lot of fun. Are there any spooky movies you're planning on watching this month? Well, yes. My wife and I watched 28 Days Later, and I think that film, call me crazy, was perfect. I think it was the perfect way to do a zombie film. And I think as a zombie film, I think it was perfect. But that was the way to do it. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's amazing. That is how I would want a zombie film to be executed. Reading should be the make time, not the pastime for me anyway. I agree. I haven't been making enough time. I've been trying to. Again, it's tough when you have a lot of hobbies. And I don't want to just try to do every hobby all at once. I know I've talked about this in my videos where there's a balance. Life happens, family, friends, work, hobbies, all the interests I have, all the little projects I want to work on. And sometimes you just put a hobby to the side. If there's a fun video game I want to play with my wife, I'm going to do that. If friends want to play Magic the Gathering and I kind of get back into that, maybe I'll do that. But one day at a time. That's all you can do. Terror is a masterpiece. Fantasy horror at its best. I asked my question because I'm reading A Court of Thorns and Roses, but it just seems like any other fantasy with a female main character. I've never read it. I've heard it's quite popular. 1000%. I read and listen to books, and there's definitely a difference. Audiobooks do not allow you to pause and meditate that you are reading/listening to. Terror is a masterpiece as well. Must read for fantasy and horror fans. Yeah, I have it on my bookshelf. I'm trying to play retro RPGs. Any recommendations? Have you played Undertale? It's not retro, but it's got that retro style. It's inspired by Earthbound. Highly recommend it. What about The Shining? Is that still on your radar? Yes, it is. But I just started like an 850-page book, and I don't know when I'll get to The Shining. Maybe this will carry me through Christmas with how slow I've been reading and how busy life has been. If I'm done with it before Christmas, probably start The Shining. I watched the Terror TV show, but I haven't been able to find the book anywhere, unfortunately. I found a copy at a local bookstore, so that was nice to support local. Good evening. I am also a slow reader, but I really like it because I can stay with the book for a longer time. That's a very good point. Very good point. If I just blow through a book, I'll be sad because it's over so fast. Also, greetings from Czech Republic. Are you related to Adam Levine? Who's that? Adam Levine. Gosh, now I got to do a celebrity look-alike. Adam Levine. Oh, that's the... Oh my gosh, I could kind of see that. Kind of. He's the guy from Maroon 5. I can see like the cheekbones maybe. What year are you? Are you talking about Stardew Valley? Year 2, spring. We just did the egg hunt last night. Stardew Valley is a great game. I need to play it again after I get my phone fixed. Yeah, I got my sister for her birthday the little Stardew Valley guide. If you're a big Stardew fan, go to fangamer.com and go buy that game guide. It is adorable. Let me show it to you actually. All right, here it is. It's the guidebook, the Stardew Valley guidebook. And it's been updated with all of the little updates, but it's got so much. I love it. If you're a big fan of this game, highly recommend you getting this. There's so many interesting mangas out there. I would recommend Dragon Ball if you like martial arts. If you like pirates, try One Piece. I've heard great things about One Piece. I just want to say hi. I'm kind of relearning what works for me when reading fiction. Greetings from the Netherlands. Greetings. Yeah, that's the beauty of reading. Take your time, find out what you like. Maybe in a season of life, you're not feeling a certain genre. Maybe you're feeling something else. That's the joy of reading. You get to explore all these different tastes and stories. Count of Monte Cristo is probably the most overrated book I've ever read. It was hyped to no end, and it did not hit for me at all. Oh, yeah. What year are you on Stardew? Yeah, year 2. I don't enjoy Death Note as a manga. Personally, I prefer the anime. I'm on the fence with playing Stardew. Keep hearing about it. Do you have an elevator pitch for it? Okay, Ron. First off, it's at number 4 of my top 10 video games of all time. It's Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon, but better. It's got depth and crunch. It's got secrets and things to explore, but it's a game that you can play your way at your own pace. If you want to just farm, cool. If you want to go explore the mines and get monsters, cool. If you want to do a little bit of both, cool. If you want to just work on relationships with all the villagers, cool. You can do whatever you want. And all the systems connect. And it's about little tasks and organization and setting yourself long-term goals. And I think it's an addictive game because you play the game one day at a time. And after you finish the day, you're already thinking in your mind, okay, the next day I gotta do this, do that. Oh, the crops are ready, so I gotta do that. Finish that day. You're like, okay, maybe I'll play one more day, and one more day, et cetera, et cetera. And you just keep going. And then 8 hours pass and you haven't cracked open Lonesome Dove. That's what happens. I'm not really consuming books as easily as I used to. Feels like I need to learn reading all over again. Some books stick with me, but most don't. Yeah, that'll happen. Some books will really, really grab you, and other books, not so much. Ooh, Chrono Trigger. Have you heard of Sea of Stars? I've heard that was a game that was inspired by Chrono Trigger. What about Abdominal by Simmons? Anyone read that one? Huh. Having been a gamer all my life, I found that when I became a father last year, reading became my main hobby. It's easy to pick up for a few minutes in between the chaos of everyday life. Yeah. And those long nights. Have you ever considered reading Guy Gavriel Kay? Yes and no. I think I've been recommended a few times, but so many book recommendations. Excuse me. And so little time. Last year, I set a reading goal of a book a week, 52 books. I managed to do it, but it felt like a chore. While I won't do it again, it did help reset my thinking on what and when I want to read. I love that. That is nice. I probably couldn't do a book a week. I mean, I probably could, but I wouldn't be able to do anything else. I want to read Dracula, but I don't like the journal entry format. Huh. Interesting. I read mangas to get out of a reading slump. Best idea I had in a long time. When it comes to graphic novels, I do want to read The Walking Dead. I have the first compendium, and I hear those are amazing. I got to year 4, I think a few years ago. It's such a beautiful. Oh wow, that's a wonderful piece of a book. Remember hearing you shoot videos. Ever read any film scripts or recommend books on film? Remember hearing you shoot videos. Ever read any film scripts? I haven't read any film scripts. Recommend books on film. Oh, books on like filmmaking. I did get The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. I also recommend. I think it's The Writer's Journey or The Hero's Journey. It's a book about screenwriting and the tropes. Not really the tropes, but just kind of the 3-act structure and how to write. Those are the books that I think about when it comes to filmmaking. It's been difficult. I felt kind of lost. It's possible I'm overthinking what reading is about. I don't know if I have to write down what I have read every chapter or that I must ask the story myself and ask questions. It happens sometimes, especially when you get into a new book. You got to learn all these new characters and new places. And that happens a lot for me with fantasy. And that's why I've taken fantasy, pushed it off. I don't want to read fantasy right now because I don't want to have to learn a new world and a new magic system and political, family tree. That takes a lot of work for me. And when you also get into a book, you got to learn all these new characters. And the more you read it more consistently, I think the more you'll be able to absorb it and kind of retain that information. But if you feel like you need to take notes, take notes. Just write down a couple names, maybe a little single sentence next to that name to kind of remind you, hey, this is who that is. Helps you kind of, stay consistent and on track with your reading. I only read one manga, Vagabond Deluxe, based on the novel. Okay. I got to year 4 a few years ago. Seriously, such a good game. I did a new playthrough about a year ago, and it's crazy how fast you progress once you actually know what to do. Yeah, I love the progression of Stardew Valley. We just got the auto picker, which allows you place them in your barns in your chicken coop, and they automatically pick up the eggs, milk, the wool, not the truffles, but everything else. And you don't have to go to each individual animal to grab that. It's awesome to see your farm grow. And, you had to water all your plants one at a time. Now you got sprinklers. It's pretty neat. Hey, oh my gosh, I missed this. My bad. Oh my gosh. Yes, please read One Piece. If you liked Wheel of Time epic and slow and careful buildup, you'll find that tenfold in One Piece, be it character lore or world building. Even some humor gags become important at one point. Phantasm, thank you. Thank you for the recommendation. I keep seeing things about One Piece. It's just so many books, but worth a shot. Maybe in the future. Greg, hey, it's been a while. How you doing? What are you reading? I know I haven't been getting back to you on your comments. I just haven't been getting back, uh, with the comments lately. Been busy, but how you doing? I picked up the first two illustrated Witcher books today. I haven't watched the show. I know the gist of the story, characters. I can't wait to read those books and play Witcher 3 for the first time. Okay. I think you might find appreciation for the books. Um, I think the short story books were fun, but they're completely different from the book. I think Geralt in the books is different from Witcher 3, and I think Witcher 3 is its own thing and one of the best things ever. In the midst, when you think of films, games, books, stories, whatever, Witcher 3 is at the top. Thomas, you have no idea what's waiting for you on Stardew Valley. It's such a huge game. I know. We just got the little. Actually, I'm not going to spoil anything, but we discovered a tree that was once big and now is a stump. And we donated some hardwood and something happened. Rocky the Rock. I must also tell you, Thomas, when life is moving at its uncontrollable pace, one once needs to cool down, relax, find some inner peace. Then you're the go-to guy. Hard to beat your calm and joy. Rocky, I appreciate you. I appreciate that. I hope I can be some semblance of encouragement. I Life is fast. I was talking to my wife about that the other day. I think it's also marriage because we've almost been married for 2 years. How is it Christmas already? This is going to be our second Christmas as a married couple. That's insane. And I think part of that is because my mind and just what I allow to what takes up my thinking and thought process and everything. I think about my wife all the time. She is at the forefront of my thoughts. I'm always considering her. And I think it's just her and I together, we consider each other so much that life happens and it just like in a blink of an eye, it's like, oh my gosh. So life is not only busy with things, but also the people in them. And that's not a bad thing. Have you read anything by Dean Koontz? No, but I've heard great things about Dean Koontz. Have you reconsidered to read Jay Kristoff? Yes, I absolutely have. I have the first book, but I just haven't had a time to get on that series, that trilogy. Did you watch Invincible? It's the same writer as The Walking Dead. I have watched the first two seasons, I think. It was good. First season was great. For graphic novels, whatever you do, do not read Watchmen unless you are familiar with superhero comics a bit. Okay. I accidentally sent the message while writing it. Oh, it's okay. One Piece and Malazan are the best, in my opinion. I think you could really like One Piece, but it might actually be too big for a first step. One Piece is probably my favorite literature piece. Wow. I read Lonesome Dove this year. It was absolutely incredible. I can't choose between it or Stoner by John Williams as my all-time favorite. I'm generally a fantasy sci-fi reader. I bought Stoner at a local bookstore. Heard good things about John Williams. I also have Butcher's Crossing. By the way, have you activated the bus already? Yes. Yes, we have. My wife was adamant about the bus. And I wanted to keep funds to upgrade our barn and chicken coop, but she's like, I want to buy the bus. We're 2 items away from completing the community center. 3 apples, and a pomegranate. Yes. For the first One Piece saga, East Blue, or watch season 1 of a live action, and it is amazing adaptation. I guarantee you'll be at least very interested after that. Yeah? I have a question for everyone. What makes you really hyped for a story? Is it the synopsis or reviews or something else? That's a very good question. I love that. Toby here says, I get hyped for the aesthetic of a story. I'm incredibly visual and I'm attracted to the style, taste, color of the setting in a book. Toby, you and I are alike. Amen. Yep, same. I think I'm right there with you. I'm very visual. I like immersive reading. And all I need is a small little sentence, small little elevator pitch. I don't need much outside of that. And I don't want to know too much more than that because I want to experience everything fresh. Depends. Sometimes it's a quote I saw somewhere. Sometimes it's a synopsis. Sometimes it's just the cover itself. Yes, I judge books on their covers because I believe it's important. I agree. I actually think we should judge books by their cover. Maybe not. But I think a cover is very important with getting you to pick the book up and look at it. You look at A Court of Roses and Thorns, or Thorns and Roses, however it's said. The publisher was so smart on that choice to make every book neon color. It gets everyone to pick it up. And now Target, that's all the books are. Just neon colored books, romance books, fantasy romance books. And they're all these neon light colored books. And to folks who don't read very often or who are just getting into reading, those books are going to grab your attention. And I think that's what publishers want. And I do think there's too much of a blend. Too many covers look the same nowadays. And there's not enough finesse and style and originality. I love this cover. This is one of my favorite book covers. Not this, but the original 1980 Wheel of Time. Not 1990s, sorry. It's just classic. And I love the simplicity of this. And it matches the tone of this book. It's dark, it's bleak, it's simple. Very much like Cormac McCarthy's writing style. This, I kind of like this cover. Although it's like it's an interesting photo of like, I don't know, it's not like an art piece or anything. Anyways. Thomas, do you listen to any music? I do. Not often, though. Even on car rides, we don't listen to music much. We like to just sit in silence and talk. If we are driving late at night from a job, we'll try to crank up something with a little more upbeat music, like Fred again. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's like a house music artist and love some high beats, some EDM kind of stuff. But I like all sorts of stuff. Classic, piano, Beach Boys, Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. I may have asked already, but have you ever heard of a novel in reverse? Oh, heard of a novel in reverse? Specifically the October list? No. I don't know what you mean. Are you saying like there's a novel in reverse? Like the story is told in reverse? In Stardew, I'm still in process of doing all the hunts for the community center. I think that was it. Yeah. That'll take a lot of time, but it's fun. No apologies needed. You have to field so many more comments than when I first found you. My wife and I finished Salem's Lot together. It was great. We're currently watching the old 70s movie. Love that. Yeah, Salem's Lot was fun. I didn't like it initially because it didn't live up to the hype. Mike's book reviews was like, this is one of the scariest books ever. I'm like, okay. I wasn't really that scared. But also I think people are going to have a different definition of what's scary to them. But much like Pet Sematary, the more I think about it and look back on it, very good read. First time I played Stardew Valley, my wife went to bed while I was growing cauliflower. She came out the next morning and asked how many cauliflower was coming, and I was on pumpkins. So yeah, it's good. That's funny. Down the line, after Cormac's Western works, Border Trilogy, Blood Meridian, you should check out his earlier Southern Gothic novels. Suttree is a gorgeously gritty novel, sticky as a tar pit. Yeah, I can't wait to read the Border Trilogy, finish that up. I think All the Pretty Horses still is one of the top for me. Contemporary book covers are terrible. They don't tell you squat. Yep. Or they also don't leave, they don't let you ask questions. They don't intrigue you, entice you into reaching out to grab it. Like, what is this? Because sometimes a simple cover can work. Yeah. I actually did a whole Substack post on book covers. Why I think they're important. I am wholly invested in that discussion. Love it. What's your opinion on special editions? I know we're both enchanted by the folio of The Last Unicorn, but overall you strike me as not needing a gorgeous edition to enjoy the story. Correct. I think if I love a book so much, it's after the fact. It's cool. That would be nice to have an edition for a book I loved. And it's a book I really loved. It's got to be a book that is in, top of all time for me. If I'm going to get a special edition, like Name of the Wind, I have 3 editions because I love all of the covers. But outside of that, I don't need a special edition to enjoy a book. And also, I don't want to really read from a special edition. I want it to just kind of stick to my shelf. But I do believe books are meant to be read. So that's why I get the paperbacks. My wife loves hardcovers. And that's awesome. She loves the Dungeon Crawler Carl hardcovers. She likes the way they feel in her hand. One of my favorite covers from the 80s or the Pulp Fiction era of publishing. If you look at covers of vintage science fiction and fantasy, they have real artistry, not just pulled from Getty Images like today. Whoa. Are you saying covers are pulled from Getty Images? Dang, I didn't know that. Yeah, I agree. Especially I look at fantasy. There's some real art to them. And I'm not the biggest fan of the books of Sanderson. Haven't read a lot of his stuff. But I love what he's doing with his covers. They're unique. They tell a story. They're kind of a nod to the Wheel of Time covers, that kind of vintage fantasy style, almost comic book in a way. I have another fun question for everyone. What made you fall in love with reading, or maybe what book? You got all the best questions. I love it. Well, I mean, anyone in the chat right now, if you want to answer the question for me, you're going to know. What's the book that made me fall in love with reading? We'll just fill that in the chat and see how many people are right, because I talk about it every day and every video. It was that book that changed it for me. Do you think this is a Getty image? Because it kind of looks like it. I like it, but it looks like a Getty image. That makes me sad. I do like Cormac McCarthy's covers. I like how they're, maybe real images, but they're used properly. I sketched, smudged, painted, and rendered the covers of my first 2 books myself. They're not perfect, but I'm proud of them. It makes it feel more mine. Yeah, I couldn't imagine writing a piece of work and then throwing a Getty image on, or having AI do it for you. It feels antithetical. And I just think I love that, about artists who are proud of their work and who want to make it really feel theirs. I love maximalist art, but minimalist design and covers. I want 80s, 90s fantasy covers on my fantasy, not abstract and generic designs that look like an IKEA design rather than a book cover. I feel like a lot of the abstract covers are those modern, like, self-help books. The big bold letters, maybe a lime green color, maybe a sky blue, neon blue cover, and just one word or something simple. It starts with chapter 36 and ends with chapter 1. That's interesting. Okay, I hope it doesn't take away your experience of the story itself. I think we have to separate artist and art. I quoted Neil Gaiman at the back of my first book and a favorite author. In hindsight, could have left that out, but I can't diminish my love of the work. Yeah, I definitely want to make a video on that, separating the book from the author, because I don't study the author at all. Even my favorite authors of all time, I don't care to know about their personal lives or their personal views, how they write. Maybe sometimes, but I don't want that to taint how I view a book, how I view a story, because the story is separate, in my opinion. I mean, okay, maybe not separate, but yes, the author wrote the story, but I don't think the author's views and personality needs to be connected or influence how you enjoy one of their books. I just like to keep it separate, because I want to enjoy a story for the story, not the author. Yeah, I'll appreciate the author and the writing style, but I'm not going to go in any deeper than that. Even the Hobbit cover tells a story, a dragon flying around a mountain. Oh, classic. Yes, Toby Crab is the guy from the videos. I'm going to be talking about Toby a lot in a lot of my videos, because we chat and we share the same views on a lot of books and the approach to reading. And he's provided plenty of book reviews or book recommendations. So you are the one. I am he. I am the ghost in Thomas's machine. Yes, Name of the Wind was the book that started my reading journey. Probably The Shining. I think it's from the movie that was made about it. No, I think Lonesome Dove has a public domain image from the 40s or something. It doesn't feel as bad as the Getty images. Okay. Interesting. Huh. What do you think about AI? Do you think it will take over storytelling? Nothing is going to take over the true artist, in my opinion, because we have that in our souls. That's just my belief. I just don't think, especially in our field, my wife's a wedding photographer, I'm a wedding filmmaker. When you think of a couple getting married and they want to hire and entrust someone to document, observe and document their wedding day, I just don't think AI is going to take that over. Yeah, there's going to be AI tools that those people are going to use, but nothing is going to take away what's in our soul. And especially with the creative hands that we have, whether you do pottery, painting, drawing, writing, that's irreplaceable. Yes, AI will replace a lot of that stuff, but I know I keep kind of going back and forth on it, but there's just a beauty of true art that is always going to be timeless, and you're going to see a difference. There will always be a difference when you see that, when you compare the two. And I think people who want a real human behind the documentation of their wedding day, and I know I'm only using that as an example, but I think when that's the case, you're going to choose the human over AI. Now, one thing in my field is there's something called a content creator. I think that's what they're called, where they just hire someone with a cell phone to document their wedding day, just kind of like that. That's a little different because I've seen couples go for that because it's cheaper rather than an actual filmmaker or photographer. It's very interesting. But yeah. It's exactly how I feel about AI. AI can write, paint, and do all that, but it cannot infuse it with creativity. Yeah. That can only come from the horrors of being human. You might be right, but AI is way cheaper. Yes, it is cheaper. And also, I don't know too much about what's going on with AI. I stay out of a lot of the stuff with all that. I know companies are going to be going for AI because it's cheaper. I look at a prime example of AI, and that's Call of Duty. I don't have true facts about it, but I have my guesses. That game, you look at the storefront, the items that are in the shop, those skins and those costumes and guns, like it's so AI driven. Like no human could have thought of this idea. They definitely throw it in a machine and out pops the DLC. Out pops the map. The maps are just not, the whole game just feels foundationally built on AI. I just don't think real people are working on that game fully. Only humans can experience the imposter syndrome writers do. They can take our work, but they can't take our guilt. Very true. No, really? I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. Well, there will be people like us who yearn and crave for real stories. I do think wholly AI novels will be attempted, but anyone who cares about literature won't bother. Yeah, right there. Exactly. Same. Oh, really? Okay. Huh. All right. I didn't know that. They're currently building a massive data center in my state, and our energy and water bills are set to increase. Ugh. There are many AI books, yeah, especially the ones you see on Sigma pages on Reels. Huh. Maybe Bethesda needs to hire AI. Elder Scrolls 6. Oh, that's funny. You look at the videos for Skyrim and Oblivion, and just those video game developers, how passionate they were and how meticulous and handcrafted everything was. So good. I grew up with Call of Duty 4. I remember when it looked like a military game. Yeah. Call of Duty is not what it used to be. Um, Ooh, this is a good question. And who or what is your favorite character out of what book? Well, that's really tough. Man, that is really tough. In a video game, Witcher 3, Geralt is my favorite character all time. One of the greatest protagonists ever written. I think when it comes to a book, I think of Matt from Wheel of Time. I have to look at my other books. That's tough. From a book. I don't know. I don't know yet. That's tough. So far, Matt from Wheel of Time. What about everyone else? What about Elden Ring? Did you find the ladder in the capital? I think I did. Maybe. I'm in the mountains now. I took a break from that game. My favorite Call of Duty will always be Black Ops due to the soundtrack. Oh, yes. What a classic game. COD 4 is where it's at for me. Dogs, I hate dogs. All my days. It's got to be Gabriel de Leon, The Empire of the Vampire series. Okay. From the Passion Crypt that awoke a core memory. Hey, hun, do you have a favorite character from a book? Donut. Okay, my wife just said her favorite character from a book is Donut, the talking cat from Dungeon Crawler Carl. Either him or Lee from East of Eden. Oh, I haven't read that book. Not yet. You've asked my favorite character, and now I suddenly can't remember any character. Exactly. Same. It's tough. Even Name of the Wind is, my favorite book, but Quoth isn't my favorite character, and that's okay. You don't have to have a favorite character from your favorite book. Talking about a character from any media, it would be that's very true. I am still waiting for the next gen update. I have not played Red Dead 2, and I'm probably not going to play Red Dead 2 until next year because I don't want to be playing a Western at the same time I'm reading an epic Western. I want the two separated. So for video games, I've been playing a lot of games that just aren't narratively driven. I know during the holidays, I'm going to be playing Dead Cells, Celeste, Undertale, just little fun games, maybe Stardew Valley still. That way I can have my deep narrative story separate, from the actual video games. That question made me realize I don't read books for their characters, really. The Faithful and Fallen series. Okay, you are bringing in all the questions. I have another great question. If you could choose the perfect setting or time to be a book to be set in, what would you choose and where? I'm looking at my wife. Hopefully she can answer the question. I love a good winter.
No.
What? What is
I
yours?
think they're talking about time setting.
Perfect setting or time to be a book,
Yes,
be set in.
not winter.
Well, I thought we were talking about weather.
No.
No? Okay.
Setting is like time, like the mid-century, the good old West.
Well, I think I'll just say Western.
1920s.
I think I'll say Western or 1950s. My wife's just shaking her head. What? What would you choose?
I'm shaking my head that you don't get the question. Don't you read books?
I'm the worst. Arthur Morgan is great. I have no ideas. Who is my favorite character? Maybe Poor Dusty Ace from One Piece. Stu Redman from The Stand. Best character, Matthias from Redwall. Samwise Gamgee. Oh, one of my favorite characters is the wizard, Smedrick from The Last Unicorn. My favorite is either Victorian England, 80s America, or 60s counterculture era. Yeah, I clearly did not read the question properly. I made some cowboy coffee this morning. Honey, are you going to try it or avoid it? Well, it's been sitting there for a while. It'll be mud.
Oh, you ate all the eggs.
No, there's more eggs. Yeah. How much do you already love Gus from Lonesome Dove? What I love so much about Lonesome Dove is just how Larry McMurtry, I still don't know how to say his name, how he writes characters, how he presents them. There will be a scene happening in real time, but he'll take a step back to describe a knife and where that knife came from, or take a step back and describe where this character came from. That this guy was a bandit, now he's a cook. Take a step back with Call, and on his quiet walk by the river. So many books and stories and movies try to force backstories. They don't feel natural. They don't feel like they fit in during that moment of the story. This just feels so natural. Learning about each character, where they came from, why they are where they are. It's so well done. And I just know I'm in for a treat. I love the difference between these characters. And there's like it's so good. I can't wait to read it. Can't wait. He's definitely top tier character. Well, favorite character I had was Nick Andros from The Stand. So many characters from that book felt real to me. Tony. Yep. Toby. I hear 11/22/63 is such a good book. Did the cowboy blow up this time? Yes, it did. And it blew up last time and the time before that. It's the worst. It's the worst. It always just boils over and I don't know what to do. I don't have the glove at the right time. It's really tough. Have you seen any of the Final Destination films? Very fun on B, horror slasher fun. Yeah, I've seen one of them, but I kind of want to read or watch cheesy, scary movies this month. That sounds like a lot of fun. I consume fiction mainly for the characters, but right now I have no idea who my favorite characters is. Mainly thinking about characters that I'm writing, at least lately. So why is Donut your favorite character?
She's funny.
Okay, because she's funny. If you want cheesy, scary movies, watch Final Destination, trust me. Oh man. That was the last sip of the coffee and I just got a whole bunch of coffee grounds. Wow, that's cowboy coffee for you. Would love to read A Farewell to Arms by Hemingway for the first time again. Choose The Last Kingdom by Bernard Cornwell because I watched the series first. Did I miss another? Oh, there it is. I did miss another one of your questions. I was looking at the chat. If you could read a book all over again, like it's your first time, what book would it be? Name of the Wind, or the First Wheel of Time book. And the funny thing is, I look at Lonesome Dove, and I'm purposefully reading it really slow because I know it's going to be one of those books that I'm like, wish I could read it for the first time again. So I'm taking my sweet, sweet, sweet time. Ooh, Life Ship Traders by Robin Hobb. Characters in Fantasy. Yep. I do like Burke. I already forgot how to say his name, but he's the stable guy, the stableman from Farseer trilogy. Love that character. Hey Thomas, what you watching? Started Fryerin? What am I watching? Well, we're watching the British Baking Show. We watched 28 Days Later. We watched Arrival by Denis Villeneuve. Yeah, we don't watch a lot of TV or movies, a whole lot. Been playing a lot of Stardew Valley. Tell you that. If you had the chance to meet an author and have them sign some of your books. Yes, in a way. I met an author at a local coffee shop who wrote a book, and he was lovely. We talked about books, about what we love about writing and reading, and his process. And I, in a way, met Janie Wirtz through, I think it was Talking Stories live stream, or maybe it was one of my live streams. I can't remember. I think it was his live stream, John's live stream. Janie Wirtz was there, and I kind of met her through the chat, and she sent me one of her books and signed it, and I was really appreciative of that. Do you read book first or watch adaptation first, or do you care which one? Do you think it even matters? I do think it matters for me personally. I like to read the book first before I watch it, before I watch the adaptation. However, with Dune Part 1 and Part 2, I wanted to watch the film first rather than read the book because he's my favorite filmmaker and I wanted to see and experience that story through his eyes first. Although there's been many times I've read a book and watched the adaptation, hated the adaptation because the book was so good. Probably choose If on a Winter's Night, a Traveler, because its uniqueness hits most on the first read. Great book, but the novelty wanes on rereads. That's what I love about a book that is so worth rereading, that's timeless, and that you'll gain something each time you read it. You should check out Pan's Labyrinth, my favorite movie, worth a watch, though you can't watch it often. Do you think Pan's Labyrinth is perfect for Halloween?
It's a very good movie, but it's very dark.
Very dark, darker than Prisoners.
No.
I'm crazy. I love rewatching Prisoners. It's one of my favorite movies. I would read a book first because the adaptation will always have a lot. Yep, same. I agree. Except Lord of the Rings. That's another good point. It's another good point. Still haven't read Lord of the Rings yet. Oh, anime which I suggested where they show Journey after the Big Ball. Oh yeah. Oh. I just haven't had the time and I just don't watch a lot. Ooh, The Revenant. The story in that film is utterly different to the novel. I have the book. You think the book is still worth reading? Also, I didn't think Leonardo DiCaprio was that good in that movie. That was not Oscar worthy, in my opinion. I felt like Tom Hardy stole the show. Didn't even know that was Tom Hardy. I met Philip Pullman, his Dark Materials, in a pub garden on the stones next to the river. He and his family are from the same small Welsh village. Won't forget that for the rest of my life. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, you did the right thing with Dune because reading the book without watching the movie would be not a great experience. Awesome. I'm glad I did that. Good point. What do you watch on YouTube apart from BookTuber? That's a good question, Chris. Oh, it's tough because I don't watch a whole lot outside of like video game information. I like studying or looking into video games through YouTube, looking up tips. I like a lot of video game retrospectives. And yeah, workout videos. Calm by Nature. That's my number one YouTube. If you guys can, go right ahead. Leave this live stream and just go to Calm by Nature. Calmed by Nature. I'm going to put it right here. Best channel on YouTube. Period. Doesn't use AI. Handcrafted everything. If you're going to support a channel, donate to a channel, it's that one. Calm by Nature. One of the greatest, I think the best ambiance channels. I love having it on in the background during parties and reading and when we paint or do a little puzzle, play chess. It's awesome. and I highly, highly recommend Calm by Nature. That is number one. That's usually what I watch on YouTube. Yes, I prefer the novel of Revenant myself. Worth a read. I didn't even know Revenant was a book. I know. I didn't either. The Lord of the Rings movie took a lot of the lore of the original trilogy, apparently. It makes sense why, though. Took out a lot of lore. Yeah. Do we have big movie fans in the chat? So, yeah, what movie do you really, really love? Sicario, Prisoners, uh, Hell or High Water. I always blank out on this. So many movies. Yeah. A lot of movies. Dune Part 1, Part 2. Are you interested in history and politics? History, yes. Politics, no. History, I absolutely love. I love the trends of history, studying history. And also, when I read fiction, and I can see that the author studied their history or took a lot of history and applied it to the setting or the story, and love that. Last week I saw The Witch from 2015. Man, it was really great horror. Honey, have you seen The Witch? You want to? Do you want to see that?
Sure.
You want to watch that? Cool. I'm scared. I don't like horror movies. They scare me so much. I like scary video games because I have control of the character. My number one movie is Shawshank Redemption. Love that. How you keep your workout and diet balance with busy schedule? Well, I have the honor of working at home. So a lot of my diet is just from the kitchen. We don't eat out a lot where we live. There isn't a lot of fast food. Fast food is kind of out of the way, so we're not inclined to, let's just go get this. Oh, let's go get that. So thankfully, we just cook a lot of food. Oatmeal, goodness, that's just my go-to. But yeah, we've been doing a lot of home cooked stuff. Been loving Mediterranean salads. We love making salads and just kind of throwing chicken on top or some protein on top. Working out, I try to work out every day somehow, whether it's stretching or going on a walk, doing kettlebell. You might like Cowboy Bebop. Yes, I definitely want to watch that eventually. Django Unchained, phenomenal. Yes, absolutely loved City of God. Trying to get my wife to watch that, but she hasn't been in the mood for subtitles. What? I'm going to take a wild guess and say Denis Villeneuve, or however it's spelled, is your favorite director. Yes, he is my favorite director. Love the way he tells a story. Which is not much horror, but terror. Ooh, I like that. Cool. Let's see what it's streaming on. See if we have it, or we could just rent it. Oh, I think we got it. You wanna watch that tonight? So scared. Have you played Alan Wake? Yes, both of them. Love those. So good. My wife just gave me the thumbs up. So good. Honey, why did you like Alan Wake 1 and 2?
It's just a very in-depth story. You just want to know more.
She said it's a very in-depth story. You just want to know more. I'd love to see you guys play a horror video game. I would love to stream a video game once in a while. That would be fun. I just don't have the setup. Oh yeah, we've played Alan Wake. We've played both of them, and I can't wait for number 3 whenever that comes out. Yep, it's very Stephen King, Twins Peak-esque. All right, Toby is off. Ghosts to slay, souls to smuggle. You all have a great day or night. Cheers, mate. I'm probably gonna head out too, just because it's been an hour and a half. I think that's a nice little time. Oh, hold up. Here we go. Saw the new PTA? No, not yet. I want to. Hear good things about it. Dark picture games are really great horror games. Loved Alan Wake. Oh, real quick. You know what game I've been playing? The Long Dark. If you haven't tried it, give it a shot. I've been playing it on the Xbox. It's basically what Fallout should be. It's you, just you by yourself, and you are in the Canadian wilderness all by yourself. There's wolves, there's bears, there's a lot of emptiness, but you have to survive. Each and every day, you got to survive. You got to keep moving. You got to watch out for injuries, watch out for blizzards and winter and the wildlife. It's very good, and very cozy. I'll definitely be playing that around Christmas time. Oh, P.S. They did just finally put the dark Disney adaptation of Something Wicked on Disney. Okay. I'm going to catch up on the chat real quick before I head out. Hi, love watching your videos while I work because it puts me in the chillest mood. So thank you. Curbs, I appreciate that. I'm glad I can be chill and enjoyable to have on in the background and helpful. Started playing Hollow Knight. Would love to see you talk about some games like you did with Witcher 3. I would love to do that. I want to make a Stardew video. I want to make a video on... I made a video on Breath of the Wild. My wife and I mentioned this a long time ago, like a month and a half ago, that we were going to make a top 10 video game video. We've been so busy. I'm going to try to get that going. I want to get that filmed. One of these days, maybe next week. You know what? Next week, we're going to make it happen. Come out Friday. But no promises. But I want to make that happen. It was a great live, Thomas. Appreciate it. I'm happy you joined in. I'm happy so many people came in. 45 people. Honey, imagine 45 people in our living room. Hanging out. We wouldn't have any room. Just thank you. And I can't believe we're at like 11,700 subscribers. I still can't believe that number is just up there. And I'm not even posting that much. Thank you. To all of you who just take your time and hang out. You know, grab a cup of cowboy coffee or tea and just hang out with me. I turned the stream off to go read some pages of the book I'm on. I'm glad to see you're still on. Well, I'm hopping off, but yeah, I'm probably going to read my book, make some breakfast, and get going on Lonesome Dove. Everyone, thank you so much hanging out with me and just hanging out, chilling. Thank you. Well, everyone, have a wonderful Wednesday. The days are blending here. But yeah. Thank you so much.